Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Scorpio. So, Scorpio, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. And so, straight away, the cards are already calling me, and I feel like that's because I feel like you are very clear about what you wish for, about what you desire, and therefore you're being granted that because I feel like you know that you have this ability, Scorpio, that you can manifest whatever you like, whatever you wish. And if you have clarity upon that, it's like that's going to be given to you, that's going to be shown to you, that's going to be delivered to you in a way that you cannot miss it because it's going to be grand, right? And incredibly transformational for your path in a sense. Like, you'll know because you'll have this sensation that you are exactly where you need to be, and not only in this three-dimensional sense but also in a grander scale, right? In a higher level, let's say. So we're beginning with the Magician, and the Magician here is coming through as, the grantor of wishes. So what he was asking me and you in a sense was, what is your wish? What do you wish? Do you know exactly what you wish for? Do you have clarity upon this wish of yours? So if you know what you wish, if you know what you want, then tell me. I can make my magic happen and bring you the manifestation that you want. Because the Judgment here is coming through as a tool that the Magician has, which is kind of like a very particular way of manifesting your wishes, that I feel like it's coming through almost as like, this miraculous event or this miraculous resolution, or even a manifestation that perhaps you didn't know how quickly this was going to be granted to you. Because what I heard with the Judgment was wish granted. So here you make the wish and here it is granted, right? So it's very fast, right? And it's all coming from the Magician. And to me, the Magician symbolizes, in a sense, the wisdom of the universe. So it's kind of like this universal power or this universal intelligence that once you are in direct conversation with the Magician, right, and you hear the question, what is your wish, right? That is the question that the Magician is asking you. And if you know the answer for that question, it's like it's granted, right? It's like the Magician has this powerful tool, right, coming from the wisdom of the cosmos in a sense. So it's almost like this infinite library of tools or tricks and manifestational abilities, right, to bring this for you. And I feel like for you, it's almost like, yes, you're impressed maybe by the speed or like the power of it, right? Because these are two major arcana opening your reading, Scorpio. And you're showing up here with this King of Cups, which is beautiful because it's talking about the purity of the heart, but being the king, it's talking about being a sovereign, conscious being, right? Human being. So in terms of nourishing your heart, respecting your heart, listening to your heart, knowing what your heart truly desire, and so what you really, really wish, right? That's the reason why this is granted so quickly, because you know in your heart what you wish for. So because of that, it's like you know that you're ready. And it's almost like this tool happens to be very effective because of how you are at right now at this very moment, right? It's like in your journey of like emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, or even like just awareness of self. It's like an awareness of what you are feeling in your heart, right? Maybe this emotional control over, your feelings and everything that you've been through emotionally. It's like now that you dominate that aspect of yourself, it's like you are in this place of sovereignty, and therefore this works, right? This magician tool can work for you, or can attend you, or can it's like can work in your favor in a sense, right? At least for your perception. It's almost like you cannot miss this granting of this wish, especially because this death door, which is like this kind of like this threshold that once your wish is being granted, right? Once you know and you state what you wish, and your wish is granted by the magician because of who you are or who you've come to be in this very moment, right? The level of awareness that you have of your heart, it's like it's like you're going to be shown the door. You're going to be shown, it's like the access to what you wish for, right? So perhaps, having this wish granted signal, it's not necessarily the manifestation itself, but it's almost like it's the direction. It's pointing you the direction. It's showing you where to go or what door to access so that you can have that manifestation for you. You see what I mean? So the thing about this door is that once you cross it, you cannot come back, right? So it's almost like this kind of like once you know something, once you have stated something, right? Or even if this is granted, it's almost like you receive information that is going to help you in this manifestation that is going to be fulfilling in a sense, right? Because it is exactly what you want in your heart. So the moment that you notice that the door is giving you access to that manifestation, it's like it's also bringing this instantaneous knowledge that once you see it or once you cross to the other side, it's like you're going to be like it's going to be locked, right? It's like you're not going to be where you are right now. It's like you won't be able to come back to this phase. So it's almost like being shown a way to achieve what you desire, but knowing that going down that path means that once you cross this threshold, it's like you're unable to come back, right? It's like you cannot return to where you are. It's like you cannot, maybe it's now showing me this Aladdin scene, right? Where he gets to have 3 wishes granted in a sense, right? So it's almost like, but you, Scorpio, you get to choose only once, because it's almost like maybe where you are right now, it's like you have privileged access to the magician, but once it's almost like this tool can be used only once with this level of power, at least where you are right now, right? Perhaps in another moment, it's like there's going to be another more powerful tool, but this tool right now, as it is, very, very powerful as it is right now, but it can only be used once. So that's the reason why you need to be very clear about what is your wish, or what is that you desire to know from the magician, right? Or what do you want them to grant you? What do you want them to manifest for you and to show you the way to that manifestation? So this is exactly what happens here. And I feel like for you, because you are in such a good place, it's like you know exactly that this is a no-brainer. It's like you are certain that crossing that death door is like it's like a desired transformation, right? This is what I'm hearing right now. It's a desired transformation because you feel in your heart like the resonance. It's almost like maybe there is a resonance in terms of, what's on the other side, what's beyond this door. It's actually like the frequency of it is very coherent, is very aligned with your heart frequency. Therefore, you instantly know that this is your door, that this is the way to your manifestation, that this is giving you direct access, or even like, this shortcut. And, this was something that came up in the Libra reading, right? Libra was, choosing to actively take the longest path, but then it's like being reminded that they could take that shortcut because it was already shown to them, right? Very early on, even though they chose to take the hardest path, right? And it's not to judge, right? It's not a matter of judging what is the right or wrong path. It's just that for you, Scorpio, in your case, you're being granted this, it's like you're being facilitated an access that perhaps you didn't know it was going to come so quickly for you, right? And what you discover when you cross this door is that you are exactly where you wish to be, right? The Five of Pentacles, to me, this is specifically talking about arriving in the place, in the location. It could be like a physical location because of it being the Pentacle suit. And you know, this is the X on the map for me. So it's almost like the wish, right, that you have clarity and you're stating very clearly to the Magician is the map. And then when you, it's almost like when you know that this, it's almost like this is the stamp that shows you, okay, so this is the door, and once you cross it, here is you arriving at this X spot on the map. You see what I mean? So what the Magician is doing, it's almost like creating this shortcut in a sense, right? Creating this portal, creating this incredibly transformational access point. The thing about when you realize that you are exactly where you need to be or where you wish to be in a physical sense, right? Because when you look around, everything is just it just resonates with you, right? Didn't I say that what was beyond the door was going to be aligned with your heart frequency? The physical is attesting that, right? It's like it's proof that you have arrived. It's like when you look around, you'll see, right? And in your heart, you will feel. So it's like it's just like adding to the confirmation that, you know, this wish has been granted. The thing about your first impression, your first certainty that this is the right place, is that it goes way beyond just the physical. Sorry, not this one. This one. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the ripple, you know, after you arrive there. So it's almost like you're the pebble, you know, just hitting the surface of the water. And then the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of like the activation, right? Because with the circle here around this X, right, is the same symbol. It's just that here it's activating something that is going to reach farther. You see what I mean? So your arrival is the pebble that falls on the surface of the water. And then, you know, it's almost like because you were in connection with the Magician, like this universal intelligence, what is being granted, it's not just the arrival where you wanted. It's like it's something that is part of your destiny, something that is meant for you to, it's not just, okay, so that's the thing, because you're so aligned with your heart's desire, it's not just, you know, a frivolous wish. It's not just an egotistical type of desire. It's something that is deeply, deeply aligned with what your heart is meant to experience here in this lifetime. So that's the reason why the ripple effects are, you know, reverberating through the water, right? Because it's like it's your element in a sense, Scorpio. But it's like, okay, so it's interesting because I was just thinking, like, this pebble, you know, reaching the surface of the water, it's going to sink into the bottom of the water, right? But then it's like, so your territory, Scorpio, is, you know, the depths of the water, and you're going to reach that place, but on your way, it's like it's going to leave a mark, right? It's like, it's almost like wherever you go, you're going to leave a mark, because it's, you know, the ripple effect of your presence, of you being exactly where you need to be. And that is the power. It's not just that it's being granted to you whatever you wish for. It's because it is completely aligned with why you're here in the first place, with what you're here to do, with what is your mission in a sense, right? And your mission is directly related to your presence, you being in specific locations, I want to say. It starts with one, and then it's like you quickly feel that it's like maybe the synchronicities are endless, maybe it feels good to be there. It's like the physical surroundings are just so in alignment with you that you know that you're meant to be there, right? So it's like everything physically, spiritually, in a smaller scale, in a bigger scale, everything makes sense that you're there. And the interesting thing is that, when I was seeing this rippling effect, I was just, it's like I was seeing the waves, but I was also hearing. So it's almost like the mark that you're leaving wherever you go, right? On your way to the depths, which is, perhaps where you belong, where you feel most comfortable. It's like you are not just, it's almost like it's echoing, right? Your presence is echoing, because it's not just, again, the physical, it's also the subtle. So it's like the waves that are being seen, but also the sounds that are echoing with the waves. I hope that makes sense. So when I was seeing all of that and sensing all of that, because it feels very multi-sensorial, is that right word? It's like it activates multiple senses, or like multiple ways of perceiving your presence, or the effect that your presence has in each location that you go, right? Specifically this first one, as soon as you cross this door. So it doesn't necessarily need to be various locations, although I do feel like you're going places after you realize that this is what is going on, because the Two of Wands and the Fool, both of them fell together from the deck, and both of these fell facing down, so I couldn't see. And to me, when two cards fall together, it's very symbolic, because it's almost like this reiteration of a message, right? And both of these cards, especially in this order, the Two of Wands, talking about the exercise in visualization, right? I always talk about this Two of Wands as like steps in developing your imagination. So perhaps this is also what is being granted, because the information that you receive with this wish that is being granted, it's powerful in a way that transforms not only your ability to perceive maybe your purpose, right? Your bigger purpose in this lifetime, but also the new paths that are opening up thanks to the clarity that you had in that first wish, right? So it's like before you go on other paths, right? Perhaps searching for other places that you are going to risk on that map, right? It's like that's the power of the magician. Maybe the reverberation also, and the pebble falling on the lake, right, and leaving this ripple effect, is that it's like now you know how to open these access points so that you can make that X, it's like you have the map, because the map is the clarity of your wish, and that's because you have been taking the steps in developing your imagination to take that leap. So it's like you've done this once, right? You're here, and you know that this is a bigger thing. It's not just you having your, small wish granted. It's not that, right? It's bigger than that. So when you realize that there are other places, it's like that you're free to go, because you have imagined, you have visualized, you have seen those places, right? It's almost like even before going there, right, which was the case here, it's like you feel in your heart the resonance with the place that is on the other side of this access point. So it's almost like here you don't know yet, but it's like you're happy to go, right? There is this excitement in the Fool. It's like because of these steps, right? It's like you're taking the leap because you have seen it. It's like, so it's almost like the manifestation. It's like the materialization, right? What is actually being granted is something that you have already seen, because you have already known this, right? The information was already given to you. And so the moment that you start going in that direction so that you can find these other places, because these are places that are part of your destiny and your purpose and your mission in this lifetime, it's like you know that you are not only fulfilled in this emotional sense, right? Maybe psychic or intuitively, right? But you know that it's like it's exciting. It's like it's an adventure, right? It's an adventure to see what new places you're going to go. It's like, maybe what is your effect, right? Why do you feel like you have to go to that place so much? Because, you know, maybe you want to see the effect of your presence in that space, right? Which could be very specific to each one. And now I'm curious to see if this is resonating with you, which is a very powerful message. I would really like to know, what are these places if this is resonating? Yeah, so I am going to pull more cards for you, Scorpio, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.